What is up, guys? Today I am back with a video, and as you can tell by the title and thumbnail, I am bringing you a in-depth explanation of YouTube's terms, like upcoming update to their terms of service. I will be right back. Let me pull up the email. So here's the email. 3 days ago, I received this email from YouTube. As it says here, update to YouTube's terms of service. 3 days ago was Monday, which was the 23rd, yeah. No, 22nd. So, on November 22nd, I got this email from YouTube, and it says as follows. On January 5th, we're updating our terms of service to help clarify and make it easier to understand what to expect as you use the service. These changes won't affect the way you use YouTube. You can review a summary of the changes and the updated terms here, which I will show you guys that article here in a second. At a glance, this update covers more clarity on what to expect. We're providing more transparency about how we develop, improve, and update our service, including more detail about the reasons we make changes and updates, and the advanced notice we provide to you. General updates for improved readability. While our terms remain a legal document, we've done our best to make them easier to understand. This includes reorganizing some sections, such as account suspension and termination, rewording others, such as changing this agreement, inclusion of the community guideline strikes process. Your use of YouTube has always been subject to the community guidelines and its strikes process, but we're now explicitly including the community guideline strikes information in the terms to increase transparency. There are no changes to how the community guideline strikes operate or when a channel or content might receive a strike. Please make sure you read the updated of the terms by continuing to use YouTube after this date. You are agreeing to the updated terms. Note, if you allow your child to use YouTube Kids or manage your child's use of YouTube through Family Link, take a moment to talk to them about these changes. Thank you for being a part of our global community. So in a second, I will show you guys that article. Let me get it pulled up. So here is the article. I'll provide you guys the link down in the description if you guys want to read it yourselves. It says, this page is a preview of our updated YouTube terms of service, including a summary of the changes that takes effect on January 5th, 2022. Until then, the existing YouTube terms of service continues to apply. We are updating our terms of service on January 5th, 2022. This summary is designed to help you understand some of the updates we've made to our YouTube terms of service. We hope this serves as a useful guide, but please ensure you read the new terms in full. Develop, improve, and update the service. This section describes our approach to improving and changing our service. We renamed the changes to the service section as develop, improve, and update the service to better reflect the content of this section. In addition, we revised and reorganized some of the content in this section to make it easier to understand. We explained the reasons we modify and update the servers. Finally, we described the advance notice we provide if we make changes that negatively affect your ability to access the service and your rights in those situations. Community guideline strikes. Your use of YouTube has always been subject to the community guidelines and its strikes process. In order to increase transparency, we're specifically including YouTube's community guideline strikes process in the terms. Strikes are issued to channels that violate our community guidelines. There are no changes to how strikes operate or when content might receive a strike, but we wanted to be more transparent and make it easier for you to find the relevant information. Account suspension and termination. This section describes how you and YouTube may terminate this relationship. We amend the wording to make it more straightforward and easier to read. We deleted the section headed Terminations by YouTube for service changes because our ability to discontinue a service should we need to is now covered by the develop, improve, and update the service section. We also moved the sentence describing your ability to export content from the account suspension and termination section to the develop, improve, and update the service section. Downloadable software. This section describes software that you may find in the service, such as YouTube Studio application, and explains the permissions given to you to use that software. Hold on, guys, I'll be right back. Okay, never mind. Alright, I'm still being recorded. Good. For a second, I thought I was stopped recording. Good. We're good. Alright, and it explains the permission given to you to use that software. We moved the sentence detailing with automatic updates to the develop, improve, and update Google services section and clarified an automatic update may be required. Changing this agreement, this section sets out when we might need to modify our terms, and the notice will give you when we do. We change the section heading from modifying this agreement to changing this agreement to avoid any confusion with develop, improve, and update the service around modifying the service. In addition to some clarifying updates to make it easier to read, we also provided some examples of reasons why we might change the agreement. Terms of service. Oh god. Alright guys, I'm gonna stop this part and then I'll continue in a little bit because I gotta get a drink of water because my throat's a little dry. But I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back in. Now continuing. Terms of service. Welcome to YouTube. Interjection. Thank you for using the YouTube platform and the products, services, and features we make available to you as part of the platform collectivity, the service. Our service. The service allows you to discover, watch, and share videos and other content. Provides a forum for people to connect, inform, and inspire others across the globe, and act as a distribution distribution platform for original content creators and advertisers, large and small. We provide lots of information about our products and how to use them in our help center. Among other things, you can find out about YouTube Kids, the YouTube Partner Program, and YouTube paid memberships and purchases where available. You can also read all about enjoying content on other devices like your television, your game console, or Google Home. Your service provider. The entity providing this service is Google Incorporated, or Google LLC, a company operating under the laws of Delaware, located at, I'm not going to say that address, as YouTube. References to use of fines in these terms means the other companies within the Alphabet Inc. Incorporate group now or in the future. Applicable terms. Your use of the service is subject to these terms, the YouTube community guidelines, and the policy, safety, and copyright policies, which may be updated from time to time. This agreement. Your agreement with us will also include the advertising on YouTube policies. If you provide advertising or sponsorships to the service or incorporate paid promotions in your content, any other links or references provided in these terms are for informational use only and are not part of the agreement. Please read this agreement carefully and make sure you understand it. If you do not understand the agreement or do not accept any part of it, then you may not use the service. Who may use this service? Age requirements: you must at least be 13 or older. However, children of all ages may use the service. YouTube Kids and YouTube Kids were available if enabled by a parent or legal guardian. Permission by parent or guardian. If you are under 18, you represent that you have your parent or guardian's permission to use the service. Please have them read this agreement with you. If you are a parent or legal guardian of a user under the age of 18, by allowing your child to use this service, you are subject to the terms of this agreement and responsible for your child's activity on the service. You can find tools and resources to help you manage your family's experience on YouTube, including how to enable a child under the age of 13 to use the service and YouTube Kids in our help center and through Google's Family Link. Business. If you are using the service on behalf of a company or organization, you represent that you have authority to act on behalf of that entity, and that such entity accepts this agreement. Your use of the service. Content on the service. The content on this service includes videos, audio, for example, music and other sounds, graphics, photos, text, such as comments and scripts, branding, including trade names, trademarks, service marks, or logos, interactive features, software, matrix, and other materials, rather provided by you, YouTube, or a third party, collectively content. Content is the responsibility of the person or entity that provides it to the service. YouTube is under no obligation to host or serve content. If you see any content you believe does not comply with this agreement, including by violating the community guidelines or the law, you can report it to us. Google accounts and YouTube channels. You can use parts of the service, such as browsing and searching for content without having a Google account. However, you do need a Google account to use some features. With a Google account, you may be able to like videos, subscribe to channels, create your own YouTube channel, and more. You can follow these instructions to create a Google account, or whatever. Yada yada yada. I think you guys pretty much know this stuff. Your information. Our privacy policy explains how we treat your personal data and protect your privacy when you use the service. The YouTube Kids Privacy Notice provides additional information about our privacy practices that are specific to YouTube Kids. We will process any audio or audio-visual content uploaded by you to the service in accordance with the YouTube data processing terms, except in cases where you uploaded such content for personal purposes or household activities. Permissions and restrictions. You may access and use the service as made available to you as long as you comply with this agreement and applicable law. You may view or listen to content for your personal, non-commercial use. You may also show YouTube videos through the embeddable YouTube player. The following restrictions apply to your use of the service. You are not allowed to 1. Access, reproduce, download, distribute, terminate, broadcast, display, sell, license, alter, modify, or otherwise use any part of the service or any content except A, as expressly authorized by the service, or B, with prior written permission from YouTube, and if applicable, the respective rights holders. So like anything that's like copyrighted. So like any music videos, like you can't use those unless like the owner granted you permission or told YouTube that you can use it. That's basically what that's saying. 2. Circumvent, disable, fraudulently engage with, or otherwise interfere with any part of the service, or attempt to do any of the things, including security related features, or features that A, prevent or restrict the copying or other use of content, or B, limit the use of the service or content, meaning like, I guess they're saying like if you try and hack someone's Google account and put some limitation on that, like you can't do that unless you're a parent, obviously. But like, no hacking, apparently. Well, no hacking is what that's saying. Oh god. 3. Access the service using any automated means such as robots, botnets, or scrappers. Scrappers. Except A, in the case of public search engines, in accordance with YouTube's robots text file. Or B, with YouTube's prior written permission. 4. Collect or harvest any information that might identify a person, for example, usernames or faces, unless permitted by the person or allowed under Section 3 above. 5. Use the service to distribute unsolicited promotional or commercial content or other unwanted or mass solicitations. 6. Cause or encourage an inaccurate measurements of genuine user engagement with the service, including by paying people or providing them with incentives to increase a video's views, likes, or dislikes, or to increase a channel's subscribers, or otherwise manipulate metrics in any manner. 7. Misuse any reporting, flagging, complaint, dispute, or appeals process, including by making groundless, facetious, or frivolous submissions. 8. Run contests or on or through the service that do not comply with YouTube's contest policies and guidelines. 9. Use the service to view or listen to content other than for personal, non-commercial use. For example, you may not publicly screen videos or stream music from the service. Oh, so Creekcraft can't show Darman videos on his streams now. Yep. Or use of a service to, or 10, use of the service to sell advertising or sponsorships or promotions placed on, around, or within the service or content other than those allowed in the advertising on YouTube policies, such as complete product placements, or B, sell advertising, sponsorships, or promotions on any page of the website or application that only contains content from the service, or where content from the service is the primary basis for such sales. For example, selling ads on a web page where YouTube videos are the main draw for users visiting the web page. Reservation. Using the service does not give you ownership or rights to any aspect of the service, including usernames or any other content posted by others or YouTube. Develop, improve, and update the service. YouTube is constantly changing and improving the service. As part of this continual evolution, we may make modifications or changes to all or part of the service, such as adding or removing features and functionalities, offering new digital content or services, or discontinuing old ones. Oops. I'm trying to highlight it so you guys can see it. We may also need to alter or discontinue the service or any part of it in order to make performance or security improvements. Making changes to comply with law or prevent illegal activities on or abuse of our systems. These changes may affect all users, some users, or even an individual user. When the service requires or includes downloadable software, such as the YouTube Studio application, that software may update automatically on your device once a new version or feature is available, subject to your device settings. If we make material changes that negatively impact your use of the service, we'll provide you with the reasonable advance notice, except in urgent situations such as preventing abuse, responding to illegal requirements, or addressing security and operability issues. We'll also provide you with an opportunity to export your content from your Google account using Google Takeout, subject to applicable law and policies. Your content and conduct. Updating content. If you have a YouTube channel, you may be able to upload content to the service. You may use your content to promote your business or artistic enterprise. If you choose to upload content, you must not submit to the service any content that does not comply with the agreement, including the YouTube community guidelines or the law. For example, the content you submit must not include third-party intellectual property, such as copyrighted material, unless you have permission from that party or are otherwise legally entitled to do so. You're legally responsible for the content you submit to the service. We may use automated systems that analyze your content to help detect infringement and abuse, such as spam, malware, and illegal content. Rights you grant. You retain ownership rights in your content. However, we do require you to grant certain rights to YouTube and other users of the service as described below. License to YouTube. By providing content to the service, you grant to YouTube a worldwide, non-exclusive, royalty-free, sublimable, and transferable license to use the content, including to reproduce, distribute, prepare, derivative works, display, and perform it in connection with the service and YouTube's and its successors and affiliates business, including for the purpose of promoting and redistributing part or all of the service. Okay. License to other users. You also grant each other user of the service a worldwide non-exclusive royalty-free license to access your content through the service and to use the content, including to reproduce, distribute, prepare, deprive it works, display, and perform it only as enabled by a feature of the service, such as a video playback or embeds. For clarity, this license does not grant any rights or permissions to a user for a user to make use of your content independent of the service. Duration of license. The license granted to you by you continue for a commercially reasonable period of time. After you remove or delete your content from the service, you understand and agree. However, YouTube may retain but not display, distribute, or perform server copies of your videos that have been removed or deleted. Right to monetize. You grant to YouTube the right to monetize your content on the service, and such monetization may include displaying ads on or within content or channel, or charging users a fee for access. This agreement does not entitle you to any payments starting November 18th of last year. Any payments you may be entitled to receive from YouTube under any agreement between you and YouTube, including for example, payments under the YouTube Partner Program, channel memberships, or Super Chat, will be treated as royalties. If required by law, Google will withhold taxes from such payments. Okay. Removing your content. You may remove your content. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Sorry guys, my phone must have glitched out because it stopped recording luckily at the perfect time. But I don't know, I just thought it stopped. I don't know why. I think it randomly stopped recording, but I must have accidentally bumped it. But we're back now. Removing your content. You may remove your content from the service at any time. You also have the opinion to make a copy of your content before removing it. You must remove your content if you no longer have the rights required by these terms. Removal of content by YouTube. If any of your content, 1, is in breach of this agreement, or 2, may cause harm to YouTube, our users, or third parties, we reserve the right to remove or take down some or all of such content in our discretion. We will notify you with the reason of our action unless we responsibly believe that to do so, A, would breach the law or direction of a legal enforcement authority, or would otherwise risk legal liability for YouTube or our affiliates. B, would compromise an investigation or the integrity or operation of the service, or C, would cause harm to any user or to any user, other third party, YouTube, or third-party YouTube or our affiliates. You can learn more about reporting and enforcement, including how to appeal on the troubleshooting page of our help center. Oh gosh. Alright guys, I'm not gonna read it all, but like, you can kinda go through this yourselves, and again, it will be linked down in the description below. So if you guys want to read on more about it, and yada yada yada, well, not yada yada yada, don't forget, it will be linked down in the description. It will be the first link you see when you open the description. Other than that, guys, if I go to my channel, which, by the way, it'll be posted on this channel, well, obviously, but we're at 126 subscribers. If you guys want to know why I haven't been uploading, make sure to go watch my recent video that I posted called The Truth. It'll explain everything. Even though it's under 8 minutes, I explain as much as I can about what's been going on with my life. And yeah, again, if you guys want to continue reading that article, because otherwise this video will be absurdly long if I read the whole thing. But I'm sure you guys know most of the things that's already in that article. But again, it'll be linked in the description, so you can go watch or go read that article at your own pace if you like to. And again, if you have any questions about anything, about my channel, about YouTube's terms of service, I can try my best to, if your question pertains to the upcoming update to the TOS, I will try my very best to give an answer. But if it's anything about my channel or about myself or about anything, don't hesitate to leave a comment, because I do read every single comment that's on my videos. Because the nice thing about it is that I get a notification when people comment on my videos. So, thank you guys for watching, and as always, make sure to spike that like, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you don't miss out when I either go live, post a video, and all that stuff. Thank you guys for watching again, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.